guys, and welcome back to another video. Here I'm Angel V. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. If you hear Gavin in the background, he has decided to make an appearance today. But don't worry, he's fine. He's watching his show. But in today's video, you guys, I am doing some sublimation canvases. Okay, we're going to be sublimating on some fabric. The first person that I saw do this was Delonda from Crafting with Delonda. She used the fabric. I did do this method on a canvas some years ago using the lamination method. Basically, I took some lamination, I laminated the front, and then we sublimated on top of that. In this video, we won't be using any lamination. We'll be using some 100% polyester fabric, and then we'll be adding it to the cotton canvas, okay? So this is what we are going to be doing today, guys. I am going to be showing you my print settings as well for my sublimation printer. I know a lot of people still ask me questions about that, so I will be showing you my printer as well as my settings. Okay, but this is what we're doing in today's video, guys, so definitely go ahead and stick around for that. All right, guys, so I'm starting out in Silhouette Studio here, and I just basically wanted to come in here so that you guys could see my print settings. I am using an Epson 8550, which is the 13-inch wide format Epson printer. And I do have it converted to sublimation. So that's what I'm printing from today. I do have my image all set and ready, sized to print. All you're going to do is merge in your image, and then you're going to size it to what you need. Now that I have that set, I'm going to go up to File. I'm going to go to Print. And I do also have my drivers installed. That is very important. You do need to have your drivers installed. So here's my settings panel here. I'm going to go, select my printer, which is my 8550. And then I'm going to go over here to preferences to show you what my printing preferences are. And again, your settings will look like this as long as you have your drivers installed. My paper source is auto. My document size is 11 by 17. That's the size paper I am printing on. I am doing borderless and portrait. Now my paper type is plain paper / bright white paper. I'm obviously using color, and then I'm doing best quality. Then if you go on over to more options, I do have the mirror image already selected, so I don't have to worry about mirroring it myself. And then I do have bi-directional printing unchecked. Okay. The color correction is automatic. These are my settings. This is, every time I print, these are my settings. This is how I do it every single time. Okay, so I just wanted to come on here and show you guys the print settings. I'm going to go ahead, get this printed out, and then I'll meet you over at the heat press so that we can go ahead and press this together. All right, guys, so my print is done here, and I wanted to show you guys, and this is mirrored, but this is what it looks like. I did print edge to edge for this one, even though it's probably not going to off it on the canvas, but this is what it looks like, you guys. It should be nice and vibrant, even though, it's dull because the ink is heat activated, but it's still, nice and saturated. So this is our print. Okay, and I'm just going to set that underneath the heat press. My heat press is at 400 degrees, so I'm just going to let it sit under there while we're doing we're cutting out our fabric here. So I got this fabric from Michaels. It's 100% polyester. This is the brand Costume Silk Loops and Threads. It's 2 yards. It was like $15 for 2 yards. And as you can see here, it's 100% polyester. Okay, so this is what I'm using. And then I'm just going to use my rotary to go ahead and cut it out. I'm sure y'all can hear Gavin. If he gets too fussy, I'll have to stop recording and pick up in a second. But I'm this is the canvas I'm going to be using. And I have my mat here. This is what I'm using to kind of cut it out to measure it. And I'm gonna give myself a little wiggle room just because one, this material does shrink a tiny bit when you put it under the heat. And then two, we also have to wrap it around the edges to the back as well. So I am gonna give myself a little extra material to account for those things. Then I'm gonna take my ruler here and my rotary blade and just kind of cut it. Make sure you are careful not to cut your fingers. Okay, there's our first slice. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side here. I need one of those big rulers that have a handle on it. That's what I need. Okay. I'm just going to move this out of the way. And now here is our material. Now again, this is plenty enough to cover the full thing as well as wrap around it. All right, so let's go ahead over here to the heat press. All right, I'm gonna move. Y'all, I'm gonna go take care of Gavin real quick. I think he wants a bottle. I'll be right back. All right. So I have a piece of butcher paper down. This is just to protect my bottom mat to make sure that I do not accidentally press it. And then we're going to go ahead and put our material down, and we are going to lint roll really well. And then we're going to go ahead and place our print down here. Or do I want to do it this way? Nope, I want to do it this way. Okay. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to tape this really well because I have an auto open heat press. And what happens with the auto opens when it comes to sublimation is, you know, the top, it jerks open when it's done. And because of that, if you don't have your material taped down really well, I'm even going to tape the silk part down as well. If you don't have it taped down really well, when it jerks open, it's going to shift your paper and it's going to create some ghosting. We definitely do not want that. So I'm going to tape this to the heat resistant tape gods. Okay, because I would rather waste my heat resistant tape than waste this polyester material or my sublimation ink. So it is taped to the tape gods. I have it taped down to the butcher paper. I got it taped all the way around, okay? Alright, now I'm going to take another piece of butcher paper and just put it right on top. Again, to protect any heat transfer. And then we're going to go ahead and press this at 400 degrees for 60 seconds on medium pressure. I am using my Ricoma 16 by 20 heat press. It's auto open and it's a pull out. I will leave a link for this down below if you are interested. This is a very good beginner friendly heat press. I will say, like, when you're starting out your business, your t-shirt, whatever it is that you're doing, if you need a heat press, I would say if you have to make a big investment, make your big investment in your heat press, just because if you go cheap or if you go smaller, if you ever try to expand or grow or anything like that, you'll quickly realize that you'll grow out of your heat press before anything else. So if you can make the investment in a really good, decent size, at least 16 by 20, sorry y'all, that's Gavin, he wants to be in the video, but invest in a really good heat press. If you can't invest in anything else. But yeah, I'll leave a link for this one down below. Now, I hold my press. I do this on my sublimation. So you saw how it just jerked and I'm holding it down because I didn't want it to jerk open because of the ghosting. I don't want any of that. Okay? So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to let this cool off before I touch anything, because I don't want any ghosting, sublimation, and I think this is silk. I don't know. It's fussy, it's finicky, so I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat press off because I'm done with it. I'm going to wait about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and we'll go ahead and pull all this stuff off and we'll look at our image. All right, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead, remove the top layer of butcher paper here. Let's pray. I did not get any ghosting. Everybody say hi, Gavin. It seems like every time I press record, he starts to talk, because he was just quiet, literally. Oh my goodness. Look how good that looks. That looks amazing. It looks vibrant. Look. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. We are going to get this onto our canvas. I'm going to reposition my camera. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. So I do have to voice over this part. Gavin was watching a YouTube channel and I didn't want my video to get flagged. Basically what I am doing now is I'm taking the fabric that I sublimated on and I am wrapping it around the canvas. Now I know some of it is out of frame and I do apologize for that, but basically I'm taking my stapler here and I'm just going to staple the edges to the back of the canvas. That's literally all I'm doing. Is I am taking the stapler and I'm making sure that I'm pulling it nice and tight, and then I am stapling it to the back part of the canvas. Now you can put some staples on the side. You can staple this however you see fit, but this is how I'm doing it. I'm wrapping it around the edges all the way to the back of the canvas where the other staples are, and I'm just stapling it in the same spot where the other staples are on the canvas. And again, I am making sure I pull it nice and tight so that it's nice and flat to the canvas and you don't see any wrinkles or anything like that. We want it to look like we sublimated directly onto the canvas. And then as you can see, like the parts that wrap around, the ink that wraps around the edges there, I didn't make the print big enough. So the two sides have the color that wraps around, and then the shorter sides, and then the longer sides don't have any ink that wraps around because I didn't make that part big enough. So when you are printing, make sure that you make your print big enough to be able to wrap around it on all four sides so that you don't get the white sides like mine here. You want that full color to wrap around all four sides so that it just looks nice and clean, especially if you are gifting this or making this for, you know, somebody else. You want to make sure that you have that color wrap around all four edges. I was just making this for myself in my office, so it's fine. But I can always redo it. It's fine. All right, you guys, so I do have it completely stapled on here. I will leave a link for my staple gun, super simple one. Now with the rest of this, you can either tuck it in here and continue to staple on the inside, but because of the positioning, I mean, you can do it. What I'll probably end up doing is just kind of cutting this, and then I might staple the edges, but I don't need to do that on camera. You guys get it. I wouldn't staple it to this part though, because the staples may very well go through the canvas, but you could put it in here and then staple it like that to the inside, because it's going on the wall anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But but you can kind of just either tuck it down like this and then staple going here, or you can cut it. I think they also have that sealing bond stuff. You could use that if you wanted to. However you want to seal these edges, it's definitely your personal preference. But, and honestly, I should have made my print a little bit bigger going this way so that it could roll around because like it rolled around here. So it rolled around the sides here, but it didn't roll around the bottom here. So just make sure you account for that, that you make your image large enough to be able to go around the edges on all 4 edges and not just these ones, because they went around these ones, which makes it look really, really pretty, but I didn't account for this one. So learn from my mistake. But yes, this is the final product pretty much, you guys. Super, super simple project. This also makes a really good gift. You could frame this if you wanted to, like add some type of border around it if you wanted to. There's a lot of different things you could do to this to kind of jazz it up. If you're real fancy, you can make like, and you have some kind of like I'm not sure what it's called, abstract maybe art, I'm not sure, but if you're real fancy, you know, you can add it like the clear ink to make the little water droplets. If you're real fancy, I'm not, so I'm not going to do all of that. But this makes a really, really inexpensive gift, because these canvases are like, you can get them at Michael's for about, I think I got maybe like 10 in a pack for less than 20 bucks. I'll have them linked down below. I don't remember the exact price, but it's definitely an inexpensive way to gift like a canvas. My husband loves canvases like this, so I'll probably give this one to him. I made another one for Instagram with all 5 of us. So, and then this one is the long way. So I will probably, sorry guys, my phone died, but this is the portrait one I made for Instagram, and then this is the one we did. But that's all I have for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, bye guys.